Every year, when ginger's in season and the price drops, I always bring home more than usual. Not because I plan to use it right away, but because I know I'll need it little by little over time. The problem is, ginger doesn't stay fresh for long if you store it the wrong way. Sometimes it dries out. Sometimes it sprouts before you even notice. I've thrown away quite a few pieces because of that. So, over time, I tested different ways to store ginger in my own kitchen. Some worked, some didn't. In the end, I kept only the ones that are simple, practical, and easy to remember. Today, I want to share those methods with you. Let's start. The first method I want to share with you is freezing ginger into small portions. This is one of the most practical habits I have kept for many years, especially in everyday cooking. I always start by washing the ginger thoroughly, then letting it drain completely. This step is more important than many people think. If there is even a little moisture left on the surface, it will affect both the flavor and the storage quality of the ginger. Once the ginger is completely dry, I cut it into medium-sized pieces. Not too small, just enough so the blender can work smoothly without difficulty. Do you usually cut ginger very small before blending, or leave the pieces larger like this? Next, put the ginger into the blender and blend gently. Do not blend it into a fine paste. I stop when the ginger is still slightly coarse. At this stage, the aroma is very strong and fresh, and that is exactly what I want to keep. Ginger that is blended completely smooth tends to lose some of its natural fragrance over time, but lightly crushed ginger keeps its aroma much better. I use about half of the chopped ginger for this method. Using a spoon, scoop the ginger into an ice cube tray, filling each compartment with just enough for one use. 1 cube is usually enough for a pot of soup, a stir fry, or a cup of ginger tea, then place the tray in the freezer until the ginger is completely frozen. Once frozen, transfer the cubes into a zip-top bag so the tray can be reused and everything stays organized. What I like most about this method is the convenience. When I need ginger, I simply take 1 frozen cube and put it directly into the pot. There is no need to thaw, no need to chop, and no extra cutting board to wash. On busy days, this small habit saves time, keeps the kitchen tidy, and makes cooking much easier. Have you ever tried preparing ginger this way? Or is this new to you? With the remaining chopped ginger, I use the second method to complete the process by turning it into homemade ginger powder. This is a familiar method my mother taught me, and I have kept it in my kitchen for many years because it helps me use every bit of ginger without waste. At this point, the ginger has been finely chopped and is still slightly moist, which is ideal. I spread the ginger evenly onto a sheet of parchment paper, making sure the layer is thin and loose. This step is very important. If the ginger is piled too thick, moisture will be trapped, and it will not dry evenly. Next, I place the tray into the air fryer. I set the temperature low, around 175 degrees Fahrenheit, 80 degrees Celsius, and let it dry slowly for about 25 to 30 minutes. About halfway through, I take the tray out and gently stir the ginger to help it dry evenly. You will notice the texture change. The ginger starts to feel lighter, drier, and much less sticky. After the ginger is completely dry, I let it cool completely before doing anything else. This makes a big difference. Warm ginger can hold moisture, and that affects how well the ginger powder stores later. Once cooled, I put the dried ginger back into the blender and blend it until it becomes a fine, fragrant powder. Store the ground ginger powder in a clean, dry glass jar with a tight-fitting lid, usually in the refrigerator. Just a small pinch is enough for cooking, baking, or making a warm cup of ginger tea on chilly days. Preparing it once saves me a lot of time later, and I never have to worry about ginger going bad again. Have you ever tried making ginger powder at home? Or is this the first time you've heard about it? I would really love to know how you usually use ginger in your kitchen. To finish today's video, I want to share a simple homemade snack with you, candied ginger. The ingredients are very basic. All you need is about 200 grams of fresh ginger. And I think you will be surprised because the process is very interesting. I start by peeling the ginger using the edge of a spoon. This is one of my favorite small tips. It is quick, safe, and does not waste ginger like using a knife. If you like practical tips like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future recipes and cooking ideas. After peeling the ginger, I rinse it and slice it as thinly as possible. Thin slices are very important here. They help the ginger cook evenly later and create a better texture when prepared. Then I prepare a bowl with 2 cups of water and a little salt, and soak the ginger briefly. This helps prevent the slices from turning dark. By the way, I'm curious, where are you watching from today? I always enjoy hearing from friends in different places. Next, I bring a pot of water to a boil and add the ginger slices, along with a little lemon juice to help keep the color bright. Boil for about 5 minutes. Then immediately transfer the ginger to cold water. This step helps soften the ginger and reduce its spiciness. After that, drain the ginger, place it in a bowl, and mix it with 100 grams of sugar. Cover it and let it sit for about 8 hours. During this time, the sugar will dissolve completely, and the ginger will become glossy with a mild sweetness. Finally, cook the ginger over high heat, then reduce the heat to low, stirring frequently until all the liquid evaporates and the sugar crystallizes into a thin coating. Once completely cooled, you will have soft, lightly chewy, candied ginger that is mildly sweet, gently spicy, and perfect with tea. Stored in a sealed jar at room temperature, it will stay fresh for 2 to 3 months. The first time I made candied ginger, honestly, I didn't expect much. I just wanted to use up leftover ginger before it spoiled. I sliced the ginger a bit thick, cooked it too quickly, and thought I had ruined it. But when it cooled, I took a small bite and was very surprised. It had a mild spiciness, gentle sweetness, and was very pleasant. That was when I realized this was not just a recipe. It was a simple, practical way to turn something ordinary into something special. Since then, whenever I have leftover ginger, this is one of the first things I make. A small habit, like storing ginger properly or turning it into something useful, can save time, reduce waste, and make everyday cooking easier. Take it slowly. Choose the method that fits your routine. And don't feel pressure to do everything at once. Thank you for spending time with me today. Take care of your health. Stay warm, and I'll see you in the next video.